New Year's Eve. Okay, so we're baking today. We are baking a couple of things. I have some Mallorca rolls that have been proofing overnight. So we're going to give these a quick little egg wash and pop them in the oven. The oven's been preheating. And then, because I have egg whites left over from this, we're going to make some almond orange cloud cookies. So we're going to use up some of the egg whites that were left over with this little cookie recipe. Okay, so let me get the scale. And because we're gonna also use the egg whites for the egg wash for these babies. So let me make sure that I measure out what I need. Ooh, look at them. Oh yeah, they're ready for the oven. These are ready to go in the oven, but we gotta give them an egg wash first. So let's let those hang out for a little bit longer. Oh yeah. Oh, and I need more. Okay, great. Now, let's take what we need for the cookies, which these are the egg whites I set aside. Oh yeah, one more thing. Let me turn this on. Whew, I haven't done this in a few days, so I feel a little rusty. But that's okay. I needed to take a break. I was feeling a little, well, I'd been processing some stuff and then it resurfaced, and the resurface kind of rattled me a little bit, and then I had to like sacudo demonio and bounce it back to where it came from. And now I'm feeling a little bit more like myself again, and I'm ready to be refreshed and renewed for 2026. I have lots of dreams and hopes and projects that I want to focus on in this new year, and I really needed to just kind of get my mind right again, because it was getting oh, this is frozen. I was getting a little bit distracted. Well, I was just sad. I was sad, but breakups do that to you. But anyways, we're on the other side of it, and we're just gonna keep it moving. Okay, so let's set aside our egg whites that we need for the cookies. And actually I want to strain them because I see a couple of little shell pieces. So let's even that out. And we need 150 grams. Egg. It's so hard to strain an egg. What you guys can't see. There we go. Like, come on. I need the bigger strain. Okay, it's at 130, and we need 120 to 150, says the recipe. I want to try to use up as much of this as possible. So that's 157, but something's gonna get left behind. So let's go ahead. But see, I see little shell pieces there, which is what I'm trying to capture. But let's use a bigger one of these. See if that helps. Why won't you go through? This is not working. The other one was working better. So let's swap that out. Let's swap this one back in. See if that'll work. Why won't it work? I don't want shells, but it won't strain. Why won't it strain? That's so weird. Okay, let me just... Okay, we're going to come back to the drawing board because I think we at least got shells out of here. They're there. We're gonna just call that a win, and we're going to start this over and act like none of that happened. Okay. All right, we need, again, 120 to 150. So we have our strained egg white that was able to go through. This at least doesn't have any shells in it. So we got that much done. 113. 137. 150. Ooh, 150 on the dot. Perfect. Beautiful. Great. Awesome. Great. Okay, let's set that aside. Now, let's just toss that because that's just... No. And now, the leftover egg whites that we have, we can use for the egg wash that we need. I need a brush. Okay, we have our beautifully, hello, hi, Sophia. So we have our beautifully proofed Mallorcas that have been sitting out overnight. So we're going to give these an egg wash, and then we're gonna pop them in the oven for 20 minutes. But what we're gonna do is 10 minutes and then rotate the pan and then 10 more minutes. And then while this is in the oven, we can keep measuring out the ingredients for the cookies. So I was like, I gotta do something with these egg whites. This is too many egg whites. Because I had made 2 batches of Mallorcas this week, and the Mallorcas take 5 egg yolks for each one of these batches. So I had 10 egg whites that needed using. And I used some of it for the egg wash, but there's only so much that you can use for the egg wash. You know what I'm saying? And even then, I think the last batch, I think I actually used a whole egg for the egg wash. I think these are getting a little too loose. You stay in your place. But it's gonna be so cute when we pull this out. They're gonna be like, whoo, fluffy, poofed out. They're gonna have some poof to them. They're gonna be poofy, 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 poofy. So excited. So Mallorca's is, I grew up in Puerto Rico, and if you go to any like classic bakery, actually I shouldn't, because I kept dipping these. These are no longer good, so I gotta just toss this. Dang it, I should have set it aside. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying, oh, hello, hi. Well, my eyes were looking down. That's why I'm not replying. Okay, so as I was saying, Mallorca's is something that you usually find in a bakery in Puerto Rico. So I'm gonna go ahead and pop these into the oven and get these going. Okay. I mean, if I'm looking down, I'm looking down. I can't look at two things at the same time. I'm so sorry. I wish I had two pairs of eyes. That would make my life so much easier if I had two pairs of eyes, but I don't. Okay. So we have our egg whites set aside. Now we need almond flour, powdered sugar, zest of an orange, almond extract, and salt. So let's work on that orange. Let's get that orange zest going, because it's the most labor intensive. Oh my gosh, they are so yummy. The Mallorcas, wait till they're done. Wait till they're done. They are so delicious. Like I said, I'm from Puerto Rico. That's where I was born and raised. And so one of today's bakes is inspired by my childhood, which is the Mallorcas. I also make a version of Mallorcas that I think I invented, that are strawberry Mallorcas. I'll have to make those soon. Okay, because I've never seen them. Like, only I have ever seen them made in my kitchen. Okay, so we need orange zest. So let's get this going. So we have our microplane. Actually, I should probably get a new one soon. And we have our orange, and we're going to zest the orange, but we want to be careful that we don't get any of the white parts underneath. So, oh yeah, I definitely need a new microplane, because this is feeling a little dull. But it's okay. We'll get it in January. Actually, I could probably get a new one at Safeway, actually, easily. Maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do a little grocery shopping today and get a new microplane, because I think it'd be nice to have some fresh produce in the kitchen for the New Year's. I've been doing lots of deep cleaning, getting ready for the New Year's. Do I speak Spanish? Yes, I do speak Spanish. Claro que sí que hablo español. Porque llevo tanto tiempo en California, mi español usualmente no suena muy puertorriqueño. Pero cuando yo vuelvo a Puerto Rico, entonces, pues después de una semana o dos, pues entonces empiezo a sonar más puertorriqueña. Pero, porque llevo tanto tiempo en California, mi español, yo digo que es un español más telemundo que puertorriqueño. I'm not peeling the orange. I'm zesting the orange, because you need zest for the recipe. It's not peeling, it's zesting with a microplane. So I was saying. And for those who rewatched the video, somebody asked to quote, "Why the hell are you peeling orange like this?" I'm not. I'm zesting it to get the zest off the orange, like I said I was doing. Anyways, yeah, so I'm actually going back home to Puerto Rico on Monday. So I'm very excited to go back home and be with my peoples, go to the beach, go to Old San Juan, do a little shopping, do some eating. I get to see my mom. Yeah. But yeah, so let's see. What else do we need? So we need the zest of an orange. We're going to get the last bit of the zest off of our microplane. The orange had been sitting out for a little while, so it was a little dry. So it was a little harder to get the zest off. And we didn't get a lot of zest, but we got enough. We got enough. We got enough to make it count. That's why I want to scrape all this off so that we get all of it. Okay. Now we have an orange that's been zested. You say rude, I say talking. Anywho, let's see. Let's go back to what we need here. We need 3 cups of almond flour, which is going to be 300 grams. So let's do that. Let's get our scale. Let's get our almond flour. Okay, 300 grams. Of our almond flour, we're using Bob's Red Mill superfine almond flour. Let's see. And actually, I think let's take that out because I don't agree with that. 300 grams. I'm actually a very nice fucking person. I just have been going through it and my patience is very thin today and I really just want to bake and make something nice. And I am telling you what I'm doing. So I don't know, like I tell you what I'm doing and then you question me about what I'm doing and I respond and you say I'm rude. But you were the one saying I was doing something I wasn't doing. You weren't listening to what I said. I said what I was doing. So if you're not listening, it can be a little frustrating. But I'm also a little short-tempered sometimes. And I think today might be one of those days. So I'm usually very easygoing and very nice. But sometimes that Puerto Rican in me comes out. And she gets just as annoyed as anybody else can get. So we're all human around here. Just because I have a camera on me doesn't mean I'm not human and I don't have feelings. And the difference between a human and an AI video is that a human has feelings and a human is going to express their feelings. And sometimes they're going to be messy because humans are messy. So welcome to the mess. Okay, back to what I was doing, baking. Let's go back to our ingredients. We need 180 grams of powdered sugar. So let's get our powdered sugar. We need 180 grams. 180. That's 20. 56. 86. 104. 121. Ooh, it's almost time to rotate the pans. Only pans. Welcome to my only pans. Okay, 180. We're at 138. I just need to get ready to rotate this pan. 175, 177, 178, 179, 180. Beautiful. Okay, great. So that's our powdered sugar. We have our zest of an orange that we microplaned. Set that aside. Now we need almond extract and salt. I'm also going to get myself a little bit of water. Okay, so we need almond extract and salt. Salt. Almond extract. Ooh, time to turn the pan around. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Okay, now we're going to rotate these. Pop it back in. We're going to add 10 more minutes to the timer. And let's get our cooling rack ready. Okay, great. Okay, these are our egg whites that we needed. Great. Okay, what else? Okay, salt and almond extract. So we need half a teaspoon of almond extract. Is this the half? No, this is the 1. This is the 1/4. And then we need a pinch of salt. Okay. We have a pinch of salt in there. Okay. So we have, these are the 1 1/4. This is the half. So let's get, okay. So we have our almond extract that I should get more of soon. Half a teaspoon. Okay. Okay. So now, and a pinch of salt. Okay, let's see what we have to do now. Oh, and then optional. A 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom or a 1/4 teaspoon of orange blossom water. Since we have so little orange zest, I think I'm going to go orange blossom water. So I'm going to get that out of the pantry. Okay. And it said 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. So we have our orange blossom water. 1/4 teaspoon. Okay, so now, large bowl, silicone spatula, parchment lined baking sheets, cookie scoop. Okay, in a large bowl, whisk together. Oh, and we don't need the mixer, but I'm gonna use the mixer. Okay. Let's use the mixer to make it easy on ourselves. Okay. Let me. Okay. Sometimes you put dishes away and don't realize there's a little bit of dough still in there. All right, what else are we doing to prepare for New Year's? What are you all doing for New Year's wherever you're at? Are you doing anything special tonight? I think what I'm gonna do tonight, more than likely, is stay close to home, write out some intentions for the year. I want to write out my goals for the year. I have them floating around in my head, but I like to write them down so I can look at them, and I like to check them off as the year goes by, and then that way at the end of the year I can check in on my goals. And I can say that for my goals for 2025, I have the board. Actually, I'll find it after I'm done mixing the cookies. I'll find my 2025 goals board so that you guys can see. And so I'm going to do a similar exercise for 2026. But I'm proud to say that I achieved, I want to say, about 85% of my goals. And these are like my personal hobby goals. These are outside of my like 9-to-5 job. Because at my 9-to-5 job, I have to set different goals. These were for like my production company and for my artistic process. Even the fact that I started a production company, MeMeCherry Productions, is an LLC as of this year. So that was an amazing goal. I also hired somebody, fired somebody. That was hard. Things got a little rough in the middle of the year, but I self-corrected and I figured it out and we made it to the end, and I'm very, very grateful. And I'm grateful for all of you that have been along for the ride. Okay, so let's get these mixed up. So we have our almond flour, 300 grams of super fine Bob's Mill almond flour. When the words get stuck in your throat. What about almond flour? Okay, let me follow these directions. Okay. In a large bowl, whisk together almond flour, powdered sugar, which is 180 grams, 180. 180. And then we have a pinch of salt. So I have my little salt pincher bowl. So there's the pinch of salt. Put that back. The orange zest. And then the optional spice, which is our orange blossom water. Let's see if we can get any more of this zest out of here, because it didn't all come out. We want all of it. We don't have a lot. And again, this cookie recipe was me in case you ever find yourself. So in the oven right now, I have Mallorca's, which is an enriched dough bun. And it uses egg yolks. And so I had egg whites left over. And so this is my first time making these cookies. They are Italian almond orange cloud cookies, Ricciarelli style. They're gluten-free, for whatever that's worth. I mean, my kitchen isn't, but they are. Okay. Oh, and our almond extract. Okay. So, and it seems like a relatively easy recipe too, for what it's worth. Okay, let's get our paddle. We get our paddle attachment. We're gonna mix this up. Oh wait, it's set to whisk. So let's whisk this and then put the paddle on and add the egg. So let's do this first. Okay, twist it a little bit together, and then we add egg whites gradually, mixing until a thick, sticky marzipan-like dough forms. So it's sticky but scoopable, holds its shape when mounded, not runny, is our texture calls. If the dough feels too loose, sprinkle in about 1 to 2 tablespoons of almond flour. And if it's too stiff, add a little bit of egg white. but we don't have any extra egg white because we used it for our egg wash. And then I tossed the rest because I was putting the brush back into the egg wash. But it's okay. I think this should be fine. I don't think we're gonna need more egg white. Usually things need a little more, especially because of our orange blossom water. I think we actually might just need a tiny bit more almond flour, if anything. But let's take a look. Mixing away here. Scrape our fun little paddle assistant. And say thank you, paddle. Thank you, paddle. You know, and it's funny because again, like, I'm a talk to you how you talk to me kind of person. So if you ask me a question crazy, don't be surprised if my answer back is a little crazy. Check your tone, because you might just get the same tone back. But I try to always be positive and kind because it goes a long way. And the world is dark enough as it is. We need to be nicer to each other. So sorry to that person that thought I was rude. It's just that I thought you were a little rude with your question. That's all. But it's okay. We figured it out. It's all good. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so we have our buns out of the oven. Who wants to see? These are the Mallorca buns out of the oven. So they're gonna hang out here for a little bit. I'm gonna give it, actually, these need 325, right? So let's bring the oven down. Good thing is that it's coming down, not up. So we're gonna let these hang out, and then once they cool down a little bit, they get sprinkled with powdered sugar on top. Okay, so, but these are our Mallorcas. Okay, so let's take a look at our cookies. And let's get a pan ready. Get some parchment paper. All right, we have a pan, only pans. Let's take this baby, put it over there. Okay, so let's see here. Our call is sticky but scoopable. Holds its shape when mounded. Take the ring off. Right now, it's looking like this. I mean, what do we think? Sticky but scoopable. Holds its shape when mounded. Not runny. I wouldn't call this runny. Okay, let me take my ring off. Let's give this a try. Oh, but it needs to chill. Oh, it shouldn't be scooped yet. Okay, it needs to be covered and it needs to hang out. Okay, that makes sense. Duh, because it's a cookie dough. Very few cookie doughs just pop in the oven. Okay, so let's scrape this back into the bowl. Let's let it do its thing. So that means this needs to go in the fridge. Okay, but I think it's okay. Let's give it a minute. Before I add anything else to it, let's let it chill. And then if it's still too sticky and it won't hold itself, then we can add more stuff to it. But let's give it a chance to do its thing in the fridge. So, take a little press and seal. Dang it. I love this stuff. Just push it down and press it onto your bowl. That's the best. Okay, so let's see, what time is it? It is 9:42. So let's put 9:42 a.m. Pop this into the fridge. And now, let me just take a minute to show you the Mallorca when it's like fully ready. So, let's take a little duster, pull out our powdered sugar again. Let's see. We're going to, oh yeah, these came out so cute. So cute. Okay, let's take the corner. I'm so excited. We take our Mallorca. A little bit, tiny bit of powdered sugar. And then, just like that. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a Mallorca. Get the light. This is the Mallorca. Look at that. Yeah. So cute, right? So yummy. So yeah, if you go to Puerto Rico and you go to a bakery or a panaderia, you'll more than likely find in the window a Mallorca. All right, so since the other cookie that we're making today has to hang out in the fridge, and I now need to clean up this mess because I've been working really hard the last few days deep clean my apartment to get it ready for New Year's. And now we just made a mess in the sink. So what I'm gonna do is take a little time out from the live to clean up the dishes, but I'll try to be back later to finish the cookies. Hopefully I'll see you again soon. Bye.